Hi everyone! So there are probably a number of thoughts going through your head right now, mainly the fact that I am pretty much the same colour as my background. I am my whitest right now. Whoa. This probably explains a lot for those of you who have seen my earlier videos where I have a brown body and a white face and I look like I am severely ill. No, I'm just really white. A few things to apologise for quickly. My roots are terrible. Getting it done on Monday, just been a busy girl. T-shirt is not ironed and my mum would be very disappointed in me, but it is freezing right now and I can't be bothered walking into a cold room and ironing my shirt. Alright, quick disclaimer, I hate long intros but I've got to do it for this video. I like to be fake tanned and brown all the time, even in winter, because I feel better about myself. You know, those little things that you do to your appearance that really enhance your confidence. Being tanned is one of them. Doesn't mean I think being pale is ugly. Alright, let's start off with the basics. So, starting from the eyes. If you have pale skin, you are quite likely to have very noticeable darkness around the eyes because your skin is so light. It's almost translucent, let's be honest. So you want to use a corrector. I don't normally use correctors when I fake tan because I don't really need to, because the brown usually covers up anything that needs to be covered up. But I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown corrector in Light Bisque. These are the bomb if you have dark under eye circles. Maybe use some kind of, you know, eye cream or like a face primer or something around the eyes when it comes to these, just so they don't crease because they are a little bit thicker than normal eye products. So I'm going to use my ring finger today. Press it on first. You don't want to swipe it and pull on your eye because then you get wrinkles and nobody wants them. And please don't forget to put it in the inner corner area here because that tends to get very dark. Because I am always fake tanned, all of my normal foundations are literally NC30 shades. I have to use my Graftobian HD Glamour Cream palette. I am using that shade there, which is from the Neutral palette in Bombshell. You don't have to buy this huge big block to get this little pale one up there. You can buy them as individual colours. I find that they apply best with a foundation brush, and I like to start around my nose because that's where I get the most red. Now, one mistake I see a lot of girls making a lot is because they probably don't know, not any better, but they don't know of any foundations that don't do this, but is when girls that are pale wear foundations that have a very strong pink undertone. And I know it's really hard to find foundations that are for like really white skin that don't have a really strong pink undertone, but they do exist, and obviously this is one of them now. They are wearing drugstore foundation normally, the younger girls, and it's just the wrong colour. So these foundations are also great for that. So you can just see it gives a really nice kind of flawless finish. So is my foundation done. I know you're probably thinking that it looks way too light. It actually isn't. These lights are so harsh. I look like I just painted my face with white paint, but I haven't. I've been using this week, when I have been wearing no fake tan, MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light. This is pretty much a perfect colour for me. Yeah, this adds a little bit of warmth to my skin when I powder it. Of course, if your foundation is the perfect match, you will want to set it with like a clear or translucent powder because you don't want to change the colour of it. Even though this colour is the exact match, I will set it with this powder because I do feel like I'm too pasty and I want a little bit of warmth, even if it means that my face is like half a shade or a shade darker than my neck. I always rather be a little bit warmer on my face when I'm pale because it makes me look a little bit less dead. My favourite brush to apply this powder with is the Sigma Large Powder F20 brush because it's just really dense and flat, and it just, I don't know, it just works. And then I just press it onto my face like this. Normally with loose powder I would just swirl it, but because this brush isn't covered in powder, if I do that I'll be removing the makeup and it'll be sticking to my brush, which isn't what I want. I do find that you need to set these Graftobian foundations with a powder. They last 10 times longer on the skin and they just look much more flattering or flawless. Another big thing that I get asked a lot is bronzers or contouring powders for pale skin. What one's the best? What are my thoughts on them, etc, etc. Alright, so in terms of what I do when I am pale, to be perfectly honest, I do not even touch or think about touching a bronzer or a contouring powder. I am just too white. I think there is a line that you can cross where using bronzers and contouring powders is just silly, because when you're tanned, a brown contouring powder is just naturally going to be, you know, a shade or two darker than your skin tone, whereas when you're pale or you're white, like very, very, very white like me, a bronzer or a contouring powder is going to be like 5 or like 6 or 7 shades darker than your skin tone, and it just makes you look muddy and dirty. Yuck, nobody wants to look like that. But if you do want to get some structure happening with your cheekbones, there is a way around it. There is a way around it. Ouch. You do have hope. Basically, I would recommend you use a face powder that is 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin tone. So I will stick with the MAC theme. Sorry if you do not have the money to afford MAC or whatever. This same thing applies to any brand of makeup. I'm only using MAC because I've got 3 consecutive colours in the same range because of my freelancing kit. Alright, so I'll just put these like that so you can see the difference in colour. It isn't a huge difference, but obviously we've got here light, medium plus and medium dark. If you wanted to get a nice colour, I'd probably go with, I'm going to try medium plus first, and then I might move on to medium dark if I need to, but I think medium dark has a little bit too much of an orangey undertone. I'm going to use this brush here from Sigma, the Small Contour F05 brush. Yeah, that's already showing up. I'm just going to buff that in a little bit. Now you can just see that that very naturally creates a bit of a contour. If you use an actual bronzer, you're gonna look ridiculous. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. It's just gonna look a little bit too dark. But you can just see that you've got a little bit of shadow, but you don't have a big brown patch on your face. So a little bit of that to my forehead. As usual, the same kind of thing does apply with blending it down the neck to warm up the neck a little bit, because the neck is usually whiter than the rest of the body. Blush is my baby when I'm pale. Blush is your bestest friend when you're pale. You gotta have blush. A nice drugstore blush that I usually tend to reach for very, very often actually is the Frat Boy blush by The Balm, but this one by MAC, which is called Stay By Me, is also awesome. Favorite brush for applying blush is the Sigma Large Angled Contour F40. This is much easier to control how much you put on. This is a really nice colour when you're very, very pale. Wow, that's a really nice colour. You probably can't really see it very well on camera, but I love it because even with that balm one, I still have to use a really, really light hand because my skin is so white that any amount of colour on it is just like boom colour. So this is just really, really nice because you don't risk putting on too much because it's so pale, so you can really build it up to get to the level that you want it to be. And when I'm pale, I also like to blend up. My neck has all of a sudden just come out in like a really bad rash and I have to itch it, and now that I'm itching it, it's going to go bright red. But it was so itchy for a little minute there. Oh no, it's going red. That's another problem with pale skin. Everything shows up. Ow. I got like stung by a jellyfish or something all across my neck. Okay. Never mind, just ignore that nice little rash neck. Next is highlighting. Highlighting is pretty much the same no matter what skin tone you are. I'm going to use this one though, what's it called? Mary Luminizer from The Balm. This is a nice cheaper one for you guys. And I will be using that with a Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35 brush. And then I'm just going to highlight as I normally would. What's next? Brows. Yes. Brows. These are a touchy subject, I found many times. When you're pale, I'd honestly just go with the colour of your natural roots. I'm going to use my normal one that I always use, which is medium brow powder, and I'm going to be using the lighter shade, and I just comb through my brows, and I'm going to do what I always do with my brows. I mean, like, don't go really thick underneath the eye and really high to the brow. Just kind of keep it a little bit more close to the lash line and the top lash line. I'm going to do a day look today because that is the most practical for just an introductory pale skin tutorial. I'm going to use my Naked palette because I know so many people have this palette, so you can use the colours that I use hopefully. If not, you can find dupes for these colours anywhere really. For a daytime look, I like to keep it really simple, and I'm literally only going to use maybe 2 shades. I'm going to start out with a brown blending brush. This one is just from Coastal Scents, and I'm going to use Naked, which is this light brown, and I'm going to use that in the crease. So I'm just going to do that in back and forth windscreen wipe motions as usual. It's actually a really nice colour. It makes a really nice cut crease. Ooh. Then I'm going to take my Sigma Eye Shading E55 brush, and I'm going to use Buck, which is the darker brown, and just kind of pat it down like this all over the eyelid. Then I'm going to take that Naked colour again and blend those two together in the crease. Just really quickly. It doesn't have to be anything fancy because these colours are going to look natural anyway. I'm going to take a pencil E30 brush from Sigma also and apply that Buck colour underneath my lash line. Just like messily, it doesn't have to be anything special. That's kind of like a daytime smoky eye for me. I wouldn't really do much more than that. I'm going to grab that same E55 brush and blend that out a little bit. I'm just going to put some mascara on now. I'm going to be using the Jordana Best Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara as per usual, and get that really close to the lashes, the lash line, sorry, and then push it up. And I like nice dramatic lashes, so I'm going to put a fair few coats on. And I finally got some mascara on, yay! I finally look normal again. Oh, it makes such a difference. Anyway, time for the most important part of the video. Well, not really, but something that I really wanted to get across is all to do with lipstick. So, let's start off with talking about nude lipsticks on pale skin. Alright, so if you're brown, just think about it. You've got so many different shades in between white and brown to choose from in terms of nude. You've got like a really light nude, you've got a light to medium nude, you've got a medium nude, you've got a medium to dark nude, you know, you've got so many different shades in between white and brown to choose from, so you can get a really nice kind of nude that suits you. However, if you're pale, depending upon how pale you are, in my case, you can't really go much paler than me. Well, I'm sure you can actually, but yeah, so if you're as pale as me or a little bit darker or a little bit paler, let's be honest, any other shade lighter than what we are now is pretty much white and or the colour that you are right now, and if you put that on your lips, you're gonna look dead. You're gonna look dead, and it's there's nothing worse than pale lips on pale skin because it just doesn't work. That's what it looks like when you've got like a nude lipstick on. I mean, of course, if you like that look, by all means go for it, but I'm just saying what I think would flatter you the most, and this is not it. When it comes to lipsticks, I always love, 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 if you don't want to go your natural lip colour, the brightest lipsticks. I think they look awesome on pale skin. Be mindful also that orange shades will kind of make your teeth look a little bit yellow and may not be as flattering as the other shades will be. But with that said, I'm going to break the rules. Yellow! Didn't just say that. And I'm going to choose like a corally shade. This one is Coral Pop by Maybelline. So I hope that has helped you guys somewhat. I know this makeup isn't very exciting in terms of creativity and the colours that I used, but I was mainly trying to get across the ways of applying the colours that would suit you best. That's the best way I can explain it, really. But yes, please like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it and favourite, and yeah, love you guys, and yeah, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!